Hey guys, quick update to my OpenVINO wrapper that you see running here. First of all, the name has been changed from this random name that I had in GitHub to now an official name called InferBridge. As you can see, it's pulled up here, but I did also actually create an installer for this application. So you can see it here in my VS Code. I officially released 0.9.5. All you have to do, load up this exe, run it, install it on your computer, and it will run easily accessible down here in the Windows system tray. As well, you can also see here a few different features that are in here. You can start it, restart the server. You can go into your folders where you have your models. You can copy the URLs for the API that's OpenAPI compatible, a few other things in here, as well as checking for updates. So if we come back here into the actual front end, same accessible path as before, just localhost or 127.0.0.1, port 8000. You can see here I have some chats that are running. I also have a model that is loaded up. A few new features that you'll find in here. Number one, I implemented this feature to find the best model for your particular set of hardware. So you can see here, I have all these different ones that are compatible based on the hardware that I have, some that are more cautioned or even blocked because I don't have enough RAM, for example. This does work based on the amount of RAM that you currently have available, so make sure that you're testing this with not too much open on your computer. Also, you can go into these other sections for best quality, lowest memory, pretty self-explanatory. In addition, I also made sure that all these buttons work well for loading, unloading the model, switching between GPU, CPU, or auto, and I also added in some experimental features to try to bundle the power of the NPU and the GPU, as you can see here. So there are two different ways to do that. It doesn't always work for all the different models, depending on how they're architected, but I will be working to make that a little bit more robust long term. Also, there's a new chat button, of course, and I also added a feature where you can pull in whatever models you want from Hugging Face. So you can go in here, you can search for something like Gemma. This is a work in progress, so if some of these don't work, I will be fixing those bugs here and there as they come up. You can also manually add whatever types of models you want. You can modify some of the characteristics of those, download and convert it. So I'll go ahead and come in here and let's just pick a new one, right? Let's do the DeepSeek R1. This pop-up also is in place to let you know if you already have a model loaded. You most likely, unless you have very powerful hardware, you're going to want to unload this first before you load up the new one. That way you don't overload your RAM or whatever your bottleneck might be. So if we go in here, make sure this one is selected. I unloaded the previous one. We'll click download. I also added this progress bar where you can actually see the status of it. Of course, depending on how this is managed, you can't always see every step of this. Like the convert step here just shows that it is in progress. It doesn't really show a percentage, but at least for download and then loading, depending on your hardware, this can be pretty quick, but you'll also see that in progress there. So we'll let that run. While that's running, go up here. Of course, there's the dark and light mode toggle. And also I'm working on a set of evidence, like it says here, right, that shows some of the models that have been validated on my hardware. So I have a first gen and also a second gen processor from Intel. So I have the 185H, which is the Ultra 9. And then I also have a second gen Ultra 7 that I'm doing testing on. So as I test different models, I'll publish the results into this application so you can see it for yourself and know what to expect more or less. And then you can also load up these models from the page as well. Additionally, I have a system doctor, it's called. So this checks whether or not you have all the drivers that you need, that OpenVINO is visible to your NPU, right? You can actually work with it in that capacity. And it also shows you what models you have, which ones are converted, the recommendation of CPU, NPU, whatever's going to give you the best bang for your buck there. And then also, if you have any issues with the application itself, you can click the copy support report, put that onto GitHub. I'll make sure that I check it regularly. If you guys have any bugs, post it there. I'll make sure that I get a hotfix out as soon as possible. So this might take a little while to download, but I'm sure as you guys get in here, you can come in, pick whatever model you want, go ahead and download it, and have at it. I hope this is useful for you guys. As always, there is a full backend that's more for the developers. You can hook that up to the Open WebUI or whatever other front end you want and leverage this just like you would something like Llama CPP or LM Studio, it exposes a backend that I'm continuing to build on as well. So you're able to leverage your own local hardware, especially the NPU, which I imagine eventually is going to be built out as a feature set for some of these other major players in the space. But until that happens, I wanted to at least provide this type of software to help you guys out and let you use hopefully a less power intensive option, right, of the NPU, and then also give you some options for bundling that with your GPU and continue building it from there. So hope you guys like this. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also I will be releasing a Linux version in time. I just need to work on my home lab a little bit and get it more stable to be able to do some of that testing. And then I'll let you guys know about that one. Thanks.